So I need to record this. Okay. So we just started our review number 4, chapter 7 and 8. Okay. We just need to make sure here that is in descending order. This one wasn't. So that's why we add right here. We add that space there, guys. We cannot forget to do that. I divide the highest one over this one, 6x. So 6x times x is what? 6x is square. 6x times negative 6, that's negative 36x. But, hold on, this is negative, we're subtracting. So what happened here? This one becomes negative, positive becomes negative, negative becomes positive. Making a 0 here, positive 36 minus 18x, it would be what? 18x. Perfect. Now, 18x again by x, that would be 18. So what happened there is that 18 times x, 18x, 18 times negative 6, that will give us 108. This is negative and this is positive. Negative 8 plus 108, that will give us a positive 100. So my answer will be, remember, we take this number, it's going to be plus 100 . That's our answer, okay? So the answer will be this whole part up here. Okay. Now, good morning, Trinice. So we are dividing a polynomial by a monomial. So all we have to do here is, this is what we have, m to the fourth, n to the second, divided by what? Negative 6 mn, right? Plus 42 m squared n to the fourth power by, I'm just kind of distributing the negative 6 mn, okay? There we go. Now, negative and negative is going to be positive. 96 divided by 6 is 16. Okay, thank you. m to the fourth divided by m, what do I have? M to the third. Second divided by 1, and sorry, 42 divided by 6 is 7, but it's what? Positive and negative? It's negative 7. I have 1 m left, and I have 3 n's left. Positive and negative, negative 3. I don't have any m's left, and I have only 2 n's left. Okay? So what I'm doing is just dividing by the monomial. That's what I'm doing. Be careful with the sign. Go ahead and apply the sign. Now this one says divide. Okay. We know that division becomes multiplication when we multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to do that first. Here we go. Now, we have 4x right here, but we have two numbers that when we multiplied, we get 15, and when I add them, I get 8. That would be 5 and 3. And it would be 7 and 3. There we go. Now, let's find right here. We're making a 1, right? And right here, making another 1, right? Okay, let me see what we have left there. We have a 4 times x plus 7, and we have a 3 times x plus 5. That's what we have left. So we're going to distribute that. It's going to be 4x plus 28 and 3x plus 15, okay? And that's our answer. Now, this is dividing the long division. So remember, what we said was that this long line here was going to be, so let me rewrite it. That's how. I just rewrite it. That's all I did here. This long line is equal to this division. Let's say regular division. Now, let's work on this side first. So we need to have the same denominators, right? So we're going to we have x plus 3 and x minus 2. We have a 4 and a 2. So what we need to add, remember, matching the denominators, right? We're just matching the denominators. We have the same denominators now. So now what we have is x plus 3, x minus 2, and on the top I have 4 times x minus 2 plus 2 times x plus 3 times 3. Now I can have just one denominator since it's the same on both of them. Now I'm going to distribute. But let me add this here. So we have 4x minus 8 plus 2x plus 6. All right. Now, you could do this anytime, okay? Division becomes multiplication when I multiply by the reciprocal, right? So it's going to be x plus 3 divided by negative 6. Now, 4x plus 2x will be 6x minus 8 plus 2 plus 6 is minus 2. Right here, I'm just combining the terms, okay? Now, let's take the 2 out. It will be 3x minus 1, right? I'm factoring. Why am I doing that? Because I need an, you see I have a negative 6 on the bottom, so I could use a, I could simplify with this 2. So Let me take this is 1, right? And this one, right? Because we know that this is what? Make a 1. So what I have left on the top is going to be 3x minus 1. And the bottom is going to be what? You guys see that? That negative 3 times x minus 2. Go ahead and distribute that. That will be negative 3x and positive 6. Okay? So again, we had the long division. You see the long line here. All I did was replace it with this regular sign of division. And I start working on this side the whole time. That was the first part that I did. Matching the denominators. Once I did that, division becomes multiplication by multiplying by the reciprocal. I did that. Flip the fraction. Then I simplified. This is 1, 2, and 2. Then I distribute the negative 3 again. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, let's do this one. Okay, so simplified. You know this is going to be, P will be what? 30 over 6. Don't forget, the exponent is the numerator and the denominator is the index. Okay? So what is 30 divided by 6? That's 5, right? So it's going to be P to the 5th power. That's it. That's all you have to do there. Okay? So this is 9, 10. Let's do 11. So we have 128. 20 minus 13 is to the 7th power, right? We need to find two numbers, right? One is going to be the 6th root, and the other one is going to be the leftover. It's going to be 64 times 2. So 64 is going to go here, and 2 will be here, the leftover. X to the 6th power and x. So the 6th root of 64 is 2. X to the 6th power, 6th root of that is x. 6 over 6 is going to be 1. And this is the leftover. Okay? Now, let's do 13. It says simplified. So this is outside. Again, what do we say? This is the index, right? And this is the exponent. So the 3 goes here, and the exponent, remember that we could do it outside. Index, exponent. So the cubic root of 64 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. And 16 times 4 is 64. So we have 4 coming from here. Is squared. So this is going to be 4 squared is 16. The negative stays outside the whole time. Now let's do 50. Okay, so this one is going to be 6 plus 2 times square root of 5, right? I'm just rewriting this. It's 2 times that one. All right, so let's distribute this. This is going to be 36. 6 times 2 is going to be 12 square root of 5. This is going to be 12 square root of 5. And this is going to be 2 times 2 is 4. And a square root of 5 times a square root of 5, that's what? That's 5, okay? All right, so we have 36 plus 24 square root of 5 plus 20. So we just adding this, 56 plus 24 square root of 5. Sorry, and this is our answer. So these 2 here means that we have 2 of these ones. And we just distribute. That's what we do. Now let's do 17. It says simplified. Okay, so we know 75 we could express it as square root of 25 times square root of 3x, right? This is square root of 25, so it's 25 and 3. One perfect square and the leftover. We could do exactly the same thing with the 108. The 108 is going to be 36x to the second power. And what do we have left? 3 and x. Here will be a perfect square and a perfect x squared. This is the leftover. Okay, so we have 5 here, square root of 25. Square root of 36 is 6x. So right here, making a 1, right? And what we have left here is a 5 on the top and a 6x on the bottom. That's it. So what we need to do is find the perfect square right away. 75, the two numbers, one is 25 and 3, and 108 is 36 and 3. One way to find it, let me just is the 3 divided by what? By 5, right? So what do we have? I have a 5 times 5 times 3. That's where you know here's the perfect square root. Right here, you have a 25 and a 3. You guys see that? And the same, sorry, with the 108. Divided by 3 is 36. Right here, you can even stop here. You know this is the perfect square and the leftover. All right? Let's do 19. It says simplify by rationalizing the denominator. Okay. That means when it says rationalizing, meaning that we're going to have to multiply it by the conjugate, meaning the same terms but opposite signs. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to multiply this. We have 3 times 7 is 21 minus 3 times square root of 14. Now let's multiply this one. 7 times 7 is 49. This is negative 7 times square root of 14. Now let's do this one. Positive 7 is square root of 14. These two are negative. Square root of 14 times 14 is 196. Now, on top I have the 3 square root of 14. Right here, we're making a 0, right? Perfect. So we have 49 minus, what's the square root of 196? 14, right? So 49 minus 14, that's 35. So this is going to be 21 minus 3 times 14 divided by 35. And it's going to stay just like that. So rationalizing the denominator means that you are multiplying by the conjugate. Don't forget that. The conjugate of the denominator. Now, '21 says simplified. Simplified. Okay, so let's do it. I want to say we need to 16. 16, the fourth root of 16 is 2, right? Because divided by 2 is 8, by 2 is 4, by 2 is 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do you guys see that? Okay. So we could keep the 16 here, or we can write down 2 to the fourth power. Oh, but this is to the okay. So let me think about this for a minute. Okay, so then the only thing that is coming out from the square root is the 2. On the fourth root, we're still going to have this here. The only thing that I did was I applied the fourth root to 16. Now, I still need what? Another x, right? So we're going to multiply by another x. Okay, give me a second here. The Let me double check. Mhm. 21. Yeah, okay. Now, let me just show you this one. So we have the 8 on the top, and we have 4 16x to the third power, right? So now, I know that the fourth root of 16 is 2. But I still have this root on the bottom. So I need to multiply it by, I need to find what else am I going to complete this? What do I need to complete this to get being able to do the fourth root of x to the third power? I need another x. Because when I add another x, what do I have? X to the fourth power. So that's what I do. I add another, I multiply by. This is what? This is 4. And now, what do I get from here? I get an x out. Okay? That's 21. Let's do 23. It's 23. 23 says solve, and if the equation has no solution, enter the 0 with the line as your answer. Okay, so what I need to do there first, remember I need to isolate the root. So I'm gonna add 4 on both sides, and what I have is what? X minus 8. In order to get rid of that root, I need to cube both sides. Why cube? Because I have a cubic root. That's why I'm doing it like that. So what I get is x minus 8 equals to 4 times 4, 16 times 4, 64. 64 plus 8, 72. So I need to isolate the root first. And that's what I did. Add 4 on both sides, and then I cube. Why cube? Because I have a cubic root. If I had a square, I'll square both sides. Okay. 23, 23, right? Okay, let's do 20. Let's do 25. So what do we need to do? Again, isolate. So it's going to we're going to subtract the 6. So I have a 4x plus 7. 14 minus 6, that's 8. Now, going to square 4x plus 7 equals to 64. Subtract the 7. 64 minus 7 is 57. Now, multiply by the reciprocal. That's our answer. That one is pretty straightforward, right guys? Yeah. You isolate the root and then you square or cube, depends on the index, and then you solve it for x. Here's 27. We're just talking about a square. So I need to square both sides in order to get rid of the square root in this case. So this is going to be 3x minus 7 equals to 4x minus 4. We could do it in 2 steps where we move the 4x, then we move you could do it either way. Right? So what do we get? X equals to -3. But we need to check this here. I forgot to multiply it here. Okay. So this will be -9 minus 7. Right there. This is negative, this is -4, right? So this is not real. Okay. So x cannot be equal to -3. And my answer is going to be this one. Okay. 128 of 29. Okay. So we have, it says that for this function, find f of 3. Enter your answer as this if the function does not have a value at x equals to 3. Okay. Remember, because it's cube, we could have a negative root. So this is equal to negative 3. Why? Because negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 will give us a negative 27. That's why. Now, 31. It says, write in terms of I and simplify if possible. Okay. So remember what we said? One is going to be positive and the other one is going to have the negative 1. And how do we write this? We could write it as 43i or I square root of 43. Remember, this is equal to I. And I squared is equal to negative 1. Mm-hmm. Two, 33. Mm-hmm. This one, we're just going to distribute the numbers there. So negative 8 times negative 8 is 64. Negative and negative is positive 64i. This is negative 64i, negative 64i to the second power. Make a 0. And we have 64 minus 64 times what? Negative 1. Don't forget. So this is going to be 64 plus 64, 128. Not bad, huh? Now, this is 33, 34, and 35. Let's do this one. It says divide, writing the answer in a standard form. When they say standard form, they're talking about this. That's the standard form. So again, just like with square root, we need to multiply it by the conjugate. So we're going to multiply it plus 7i. Remember, the conjugate is the same terms but opposite signs. So let's multiply 6 times 5, negative 30. 6 times 7, positive 42i. Negative 8i, that's positive 40i, minus 56i squared. Negative 5 times negative 5 is 25. Negative 35i plus 35i minus 49i squared. Okay, so let's do this one, and we have negative 30, 42i plus 40, that will be 82i. And again, this is negative 1. Let me write it up here. I squared is equal to negative 1. Don't forget that. So I have negative 30 plus 56. So let me combine negative 36 plus 56. That will be positive 26. 25 plus 49, that's 74. Now, I could factor the 2. That would be 13 plus 41i. And this one is 2 times 37 will be 74. All I'm doing this is because I could get a 1 here. So what I have is 13 plus 41i divided by 37. They want us to do it the standard form. So the standard form needs to be 13 divided by 37 plus 41. This is how they want us to write the answer. And we got to the last one. So now I'm going to go back and start. No, I'm going to start with 36. Okay, guys? Or you just tell me, how do you guys want me to do? Go back to number 1 or start from the end? From 36 to number 1. Going backward. Okay. So let's do this one. This is exactly to the one that we just did. We are going to multiply by the conjugate. Again, the same terms, but the sign in the middle is the opposite. Okay, so we're going to distribute this. This is negative 54. That's 36i. 42i. And negative 28i squared. Don't forget the I squared. That's 36. 24i. Positive 24i. And negative 16i squared. Let me write down here that I squared is equal to negative 1. Okay, so this is 0. We can combine. We're going to combine this one and this one. That will be 78. I. This is 28 times negative 1. So we have negative 54 plus 78i plus 28. 6 plus 16. 54 minus 28. Well, negative 54 plus 20, that's going to be a negative 26. This is 52. And right here, I could get 26 out. So it's going to be 26. Oops, sorry. Plus 3i. And this is going to be 26 times 2. So I factor the 26 out. This is going to be -1 plus 3i divided by 2. Again, the standard form. That's gotta be our answer. Now, this is page 14. Okay. Okay, we're doing this one now, which is multiplying. 12, -12 times -12, that's +144. -12 times -12i, that's +144i. 12i times -12, -144i. This will be -144i squared. Don't forget. So that's 0. 144 minus 144 times -1. So this is going to be 144 plus 144, 288. Okay. Now, it says write in terms of I. Okay. So we know one is going to be 35, the square root of 35 times the square root of -1. What is this? This we said is equal to I. We write it this way, or I square root of 35. Now, it says find, for this function, we have to find, enter your answer if the function does not have a value of, okay, let's do it. So we're going to replace the x with the 3, -5 times 3 plus 23. Negative 15 plus 23, that's 8. Cubic root of 8 is 2. So 2 is the answer there, just like we got the negative 3 here. All right. Now, oh, sorry, this way that I'm putting that. No, 28. This one. What do? I square both sides. So let's do that. Why square? Because I have a square root. So when I do that, I get rid of the square root. No. This is negative 24. This is 12 minus negative 24. It's going to be negative 12. And that's going to be negative 6. And we are going to check that. So we have 3 times negative 6 plus 12. 5 times negative 6 plus 24. That will be 18 plus 12. This is 6, right? This is, and what did we say here? Not real. So my answer is going to be now. This is 27, 28. Let's do 26. On this one, we do have to do one more step, which is isolate the square root. That's all. So we're going to subtract 2 on both sides, and that will be 11, right? Now we're going to square this. 11 times 11 is 121. We're going to subtract 8. 113. Multiply by the reciprocal. And our answer is going to be x is equal to 113 divided by 3. Remember, no decimals, okay? We want the fractions. This one, 24. We do exactly what we just did here. We're gonna take, we're gonna add the 2. So we have cubic root of x plus 5 equals to 2. Now we cube both sides. So we get x plus 5. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Solve it for x, and x is equal to 3. There we go. Now let's do 22. The 22. Oh, she said, I'm having bad connection right now. I'll be back. Okay. So we're going to do 22. So this is 81 y to the third. So what do I need to multiply the denominator? Why am I doing that? Because I don't want the root here. So I need to multiply it. 81. What's the fourth root of 81? Hold on. Sorry. I think we have room here. 81. This is 27. Right? So 81 is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 81 is 3 to the fourth power. So the number is fine. What we need to is multiply by another y and another y to the third power, and this one is to the first one power, so it will be to the fourth. That way we could get rid of the root in the denominator. Okay? So on the top, what I get is 3. Bottom will be 81 y to the fourth power. So I know this is going to be what? 81, fourth root of 81 we said was 3. And 4 divided by 4 is y. Now, let's make a 1 there. So our answer will be 4th root of y divided by y. Let's do 20. 20 is, we need to rationalize the denominator. Means that we are multiplying by the conjugate, which is 3 minus the square root of 15. Okay, so let's distribute this. We get 8 times 3 will be 24 minus 8 is square root of 15. Now the bottom will be 9 negative 3 is square root of 15. Positive 3 is square root of 15. And negative 15 times 15 is 225. Now we know make a 0 here. So we have 24 minus 8, 9 minus, what's this? 15, right? Actually, when we are doing square root of 15 times square root of 15, we know this is going to be 15. Because if you multiplied 15 times 15 is 225. And what's the square root of 225? 15. Okay. So we have on the bottom is going to be 24 minus, hold on. 9 minus 15 is negative 6. I see all even numbers, so I need to factor out the 2. So 2, this will be a 12, 4, and this one will be 2 times negative 3, right? So the answer is 12 minus 4 times the square root of 15 divided by negative 3. So we're rationalizing the denominator, so we multiply by the conjugate. Conjugate is the same terms but opposite sign, the one in the middle. Let's do 18. And this one says simplified. Okay, so 80. That's 40, half of 40 is 20, half of 20 is 10, and half of 10 is 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5. right? So we have 4 and 4 and 5. So this is 16. So we could divide it between 16 and 5, right? You guys see that? So we could say the square root of 16, and what is left is square root of 5y. I'm just simplifying. Now the bottom is 405. By 3 is 45. Right? So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5. This 2 is 9, and these 2 are 9, right? So it's going to be 81 and 5. You guys see that? So this is going to be 81y to the second power, right? And 5y. This is to the third. So 2 are going to stay here, and 1 is going to come over here. Now, square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 81 is 9y. So right here, I have a 1. So I have 4 divided by 9y. That's my answer. Okay. Let's do 16. 16 says simplified, meaning I'm just going to multiply it. So it's going to be 4 plus 5 square root of 3, and 4 plus 5 times the square root of 3. The square here means that it's 2 of these ones. So let's do it. This is 16 20 square root of 3, 20 square root of 3, 25, and times 3. So we're going to combine like terms. We have 40 square root of 3. 25 times 3, that's 75. 16 plus 75, that's 91 plus. We are just multiplying there. I just write down 2 of these ones exactly, and I just distribute. Now, let's do 14. We said that the 5 is the index. Don't forget. And the 4 is the exponent. So we have, this is outside, index is here, and the exponent is the 4. This part, the answer is 2. 2 to the 4th power is 16, and I'm carrying that negative sign. Okay? Twelve is simplified. Okay? So let's simplify. Y to the 12 and 3. How many do I have left? 9, right? So let's do what we've been doing. By 2, 48. 24 by 2 is 12. By 2 is 6. And by 2 is 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 4, 5, and we have the 3. So it's going to be 2 to the 5th power times 3. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2, 16. 16 times 2, 32. So when I multiply 32 times 3, I get the 96. So let's do it here. 9 divided by 5, not going to give me an even number, right? So I need to, 1 is going to be 5, and the leftover is going to be 4. Remember, 32 times 3 is 96. Y to the 5th times y to the 4th is y to the 9th. This is the leftover. So what do I get here? I get a 2y. Now, let's do 10. So it's R. What did we say? The index is the denominator. And the 35 is the exponent. Okay, index is the denominator, don't forget that. Let's do 8. So this long division is the same as this one. And here we're going to have 7x minus 1. That's how we divide it. Now we need the same denominators. They need to match. Okay, so x minus 1. So we're just going to come here and x plus 3, x plus 3, x minus 1, and x minus 1. Now we have the same denominator, which is x minus 1 okay? If we want to, we could flip it now. Doesn't matter when, as long as we do it. So we have x minus 1 and x plus 3. Let's distribute 7x plus 21 plus 5x minus 5. So we have a 7 plus 5, that will be 12, right? So that's going to be 12x. 21 minus 5, 16. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me factor here. I can factor the 4. That will be 3x plus 4. Mm-hmm. So right here, we make a 1. And right here, we make a 1. We can just not forget the negative. So what we have left here is 3x plus 4. Don't forget the negative that is here. So it's going to be negative x minus 3. All right? Okay. 8, 6. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing here is we're multiplying division becomes multiplication because we're multiplying by the reciprocal. There we go. Let's factor this. Two numbers would be 4 and 11. Multiply 44, added 15. That would be 4. So right here we're making a 1. Right here we're making a 1. So on the top I have a 6 multiplying y plus 4, and the bottom I have a 7 multiplying y plus 11. And we have to distribute this. And let's do number 4. We are just going to divide each term by this negative monomial. Right now, notice that I'm not dealing with the negative sign yet. I'm just writing it down. Now, negative and negative is positive, right? 88 divided by 80 by 8, that will be 11. How many do I have left? 5, and I'm going to have 6 left here. Positive and negative is negative. 48 divided by 8, that's 6. What do I have left? 4 and 2. This is going to be positive. They both are negative. Make a 1, so it's only going to be 2y. This one is pretty straightforward. I believe so. And the last one, let's do that division, guys. Because for sure we're gonna get one of these ones. So we have the x minus 3 right here again, guys. Don't forget, needs to be descending order. And we're missing the x squared. So I'm just adding that. Just saving a place there. Okay? Now, I start the first one here, the highest one, and the x to the second power. X to the second power times x to the third power. This will give us 3x. Again, you're subtracting this. So we said that when that happens, this is going to change and this is going to change. So we're making a 0 here. You can bring everything down if you want to. take the first one here with the first one there. We have 3x. 3x times x, 3x squared. This is going to be negative 9x. Again, this is changing and this is positive now. So 9 plus 3, that will be 12x. 12x divided by x, that's 12. So this one will be 12x. 12 times negative 3, that's negative 36, right? But this is going to be negative and this is going to be positive. So 4 plus 36, that will be 40. So my answer is going to be plus 40, that's the remainder, and x minus 3. This is your answer. Whatever we got here plus the remainder divided by the divisor. And we have done all the review number 4, chapter 7 and 8.